This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to our Wednesday edition of Daily Flash. We got today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Yes. Okay. Gavin Newsom, governor of California.
Oh my God.
He's got a dirty diaper problem. Have you guys heard about this? So he's decided he's decided to give free diapers out to everybody in California, to all these new moms through a program called Baby to Baby.
Okay.
Well, this Baby to Baby program is a part of a charity that his wife, Gavin Newsom's wife, is involved in.
Okay.
So they're giving his wife $30 million to give to this charity, and then $30 million will buy all these diapers for people to get for free. The woman that runs the Baby to Baby charity, her husband's in movie production, and they are big donators to Gavin Newsom and his political campaign.
Okay.
Do you see where this is going? It's connect the dots. And when you look at the cost of diapers, you know, you're basically paying like $10 a diaper for what he's willing to give out and what they say they're funding it for. Why not go to a diaper company and say, hey, can you provide these diapers for free to these new moms, these new parents?
Maybe we can give you a tax break or something.
And maybe
like
we
that.
get, but instead they're funneling millions of dollars into somebody's charity so that that money can allegedly come back to them.
And I think about these charities. You remember the Dolly Parton? She has her big one where she gives out to the books to kids and donated a lot to a company. And they wound up giving it to another charity, the money that she donated, and no one can account for where that money went.
Yes.
And that's horrible. And this happens all
the
just
time.
two examples.
Yeah, and the Palisades Fire, the fire fund out in California.
Yeah.
Money's gone. Nobody knows where all that money went. Millions of dollars in donations to a number of different charities. And who's benefited from that? Politicians, NGOs, non-governmental organizations, which, a lot of people are finding out these are really not legit organizations.
Yeah.
They're just an opportunity to shuffle money around to different places.
It's going to be a bigger problem.
Well, I mean, as a Shriner, and we've been around since 1893, the Prince Hall Shriners, and we make sure we are very transparent because of all this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's sad because it hurts when you're trying to raise money for scholarships, you're trying to get people involved, and they look at you like, where's the money really going?
Yes.
Like, here you can see it. Like it literally goes from you to the person, or you to, and we fund most of the things that are happening out of our own pockets. So it's kind of like you're just here to help us out, and we appreciate it, and it's going to where it's supposed to go. So it's tough, man. And there are so many different organizations that are like this. People need to do their homework before they start volunteering and donating, because volunteers sometimes get used a lot as well.
Yes.
Sidebar, James probably will concur with me on this. One of the greatest days as a father is the day that your youngest is potty trained. Yes. And you never have to buy something. All they do is crap for someone to crap in. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because it is a huge part of your grocery bill.
Gosh.
Man.
Yes. And my last one came around where we had the pandemic and the shutdown of the
baby formula.
Yeah, baby formula. Yeah. So we were calling family from across the country, having them mail us formula.
Wow.
Yes, it was crazy. It was hard to find cans, and the cans, the prices went up. It was nuts. So we were spending like nearly $100 a week.
That's a lot.
No question, diapers are super expensive, but do you know how many programs there are that are set up that provide free diapers to families in need? So the fact that he's decided to do this multi-million-dollar charity grab didn't need to be done, and at the expense it's being done at. It's like, housing 3,000 homeless folks for $20 billion in Los Angeles, and nobody knows where any of those apartments are or any of those homeless folks are.
And this is my news anchor segue.
Yes.
Ready? Looks like both of them are full of crap.
Facts.
Now let's check the weather.
Let's check in with Tom at the weather forecast today. Tom, how's the weather crappy today?
Yes.
Very in there, Dick of the Woods.
Will I need a diaper in this rain today, Paul?
Oh my God.
Will my diaper get wet this week? No, I didn't mean it like that. No, cut this. No, it's a lie.
That is wild, man. That is wild.
So look into that. It's worth some reading. There's a ton of stuff on X right now. New York Post has some great articles, but we're taking a deeper dive. We talk about critical thinking. This is where your critical thinking comes in, because you need to start asking questions when it comes to donating your hard-earned money in charities, and where is that money actually going? James, we'd love to get your take on it, and you love to involve our fans.
Oh yeah, all I need you to do is go to our website at dailyflashshow.com and click on Sound Off if you're gonna sound off of what you just heard from Andrea and Mitch about the diaper situation. It was
Diapergate.
Yeah, there you go, Diapergate. Right.
Diapergate.
All right. While you're there, we definitely want you to sound off on our question of the day, which is, what's a reboot you actually watch?
Movie, a series, could be
Doesn't
anything
matter.
at
Reboot.
all.
It's a reboot. TV,
Well,
movie,
it's
series.
interesting. I literally was just reading this morning. They're doing a Scooby-Doo Origins.
Right.
On
Okay.
Netflix, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about that because you kind of want to know how this group of friends met together.
Yes.
So I don't know if that's necessarily a reboot. Bringing it back, there seems like sometimes it's better just to leave things the way
alone.
they are.
Okay.
So that is actually a harder question. If you can do it right, I would love to see Seinfeld. I mean, that's one of my favorites. But I think they've already done that reboot when they did with the Curb Your Enthusiasm, season.
I don't know. That's a good question. A reboot of something. Gremlins, I would love to see.
You like Gremlins?
And lots of
Okay.
people have been talking about a Gremlins reboot, but I don't know if it'll ever
That was the
happen.
first PG-13 movie. Did you know that?
Was it really?
Yeah, because it didn't look like a kid's movie.
But it was.
It was not. It was kind of scary,
Yeah.
so it was 13 and up.
So, believe it or not, Friday the 13th.
Really?
I want to see that
Again?
As a
Yeah.
reboot.
As a reboot.
Didn't they
Friday
reboot
the
it
13th.
already?
No, it was it's
Okay.
still the same people. They just continued the story.
Okay.
I want to see Friday
Halloween,
the
I
13th.
think maybe.
All of them, I thought.
Yeah, they're all kind of
Friday
blend
the
together.
13th. I wanna
They
see
never
Freddy
died.
Krueger
The bad
back.
guys never died.
They never die.
Freddy Krueger needs to come back.
Okay. All right. Well, let us know what you think. We'd love to make your answer a part of the show, dailyflashshow.com. I want to get your take on this one, guys. A woman quit her teaching job to become a professional cuddler.
Cuddler?
Ella Love, 51, quit her stressful New York teaching job after 13 years due to large classes, discipline issues, burnout. She now earns up to $100,000 a year as a professional cuddler, charging $150 an hour while typically working about 3 hours a day cuddling. Most clients are middle-aged married men seeking non-sexual touch and emotional connection without cheating. Sessions strictly platonic with strict boundaries.
Okay.
Arousal is handled professionally as a natural response. The work, she says, is deeply therapeutic for her clients who often share secrets they've never told anyone, activating suppressed
James.
emotions.
James, first off, is that a real name? Do we know Ella Love?
Ella Love. She's got pictures.
Okay, so I can buy into this as I would probably be one of her clients, age-wise, is what I'm referring to when I say that. Is that 90? James, tell me if you agree with this. Most men would say their love language is physical touch.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
it is.
And women get to a certain age, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jackson. If I'm not trying to be chauvinistic. I think women are always their love language is service, doing stuff or whatever.
Yes. Right.
And if they don't feel like they do it, and they like, oh my God, he wants to be hugged again. This is a woman that.
I don't know if that's her, James.
Ella Love. I'm not sure.
no,
If that's
I
her.
don't think
it
that's
says
her.
Playboy next to
Yeah,
her.
that's not her. She's a
No,
brunette.
I
but-
can't hold this up.
No.
I can't hold this up.
So, but men, I think want that.
That's
I
a
think,
really
but
great point.
but when it goes down to, I'm not saying, all right, women, think about men are going to this, that sort of thing. But it does show you about how love language is, you really need to define that and understand that you're not going to get what you want unless you give their love. It's like speaking languages.
Yes. Right.
Like if I'm talking Spanish, you're not going to understand me and vice versa. So I could see how she could make a lot of money doing this, $150 an hour, just to be able to feel secure enough to allow a man to express his emotions, which men are obviously all about
Homelander all over again.
Homelander all over again.
But I'm seeing this, and I'm looking it up. I found the story.
There she is. Yes, that's her.
So, look, fellas, you see the ladies doing it? Now it's your turn. By 2030, 45% of women are going to be lonely, and they may need a cuddler. So you may be able to make $100,000. They do it already in Japan. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So they do it in Japan a lot.
You're right.
So you can make some money off of this.
Yeah.
Ladies, if you want to cuddle with me, go to dailyflashshow.com.
Well, see, that's the issue, is that you're not going to find a lot of women that do that, though, right?
There you go. Click. Oh, you could do flash at dailyflashshow.com. You can email us And we'll talk about it. And you too could be on the Daily Flash show.
If you want to hug James, he's very huggable.
Daily Flash
there is something
cuddler.
about it allows men to feel secure enough to maybe, and she says that it's therapeutic.
Yes.
Oh no,
James
man.
is all about feeling them all up. If you're
I
okay
don't
with
think it's
it.
therapeutic, man. You
but
have some
I
mommy
wonder-
issues.
Yeah, maybe, but I wonder too if is it therapeutic for them to be vulnerable with somebody who's not
No, they
their
shouldn't.
partner?
No, you're right.
So they can't do that with their partner because they don't want to show vulnerability, but it's okay to do it with
That's
this professional
spot on.
cuddler.
Say, woman,
Okay.
they know exactly what to say. That's the guy's right. Here's our brain flash question of the day. We'll have the answer when we return. Hey, welcome back to the big show. All right, before we went to break, we asked you our brain flash question of the day. What was the original name of Google? Hopefully you didn't Google the answer. That would be kind of meta, wouldn't it? And a lot of people are freaked out when they find out it used to be called Backrub. And basically, when they were at Stanford University, it related to all the backlinks that it took to get to your information on Google. There you go. It was changed in I think in the late 90s. 97 is when they changed it to Google. Well, welcome back to the big show. Mitch English here. In an effort for us to live a peaceful life, most people are doing, if you think about it, everything right. We're working on our attitude, our daily habits. We're doing the inner work. But peace keeps just slipping away. So what are we doing wrong? Well, our next guest, Beatty Carmichael, has a new book out. Here it is. It's called Outrageous Peace. He joins us now with some insight so that we can find some of that peace. Beatty, welcome to Daily Flash. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you, Mitch. I'm excited about being here.
Well, I'm glad you are, because this is something that a lot of people, you're like, man, I just don't understand it. Why can't I get out of this funk? Why can't I get this peace? Why do people still, after they do all of the things that they maybe might have done in a book or everything other friends tell us, they're still looking for that peace by following that self-help advice? Why is that?
Well, I think what I find a lot of times is people don't really understand what causes peace and therefore why it disappears and slips away. And once you start to recognize the framework in which peace operates, then it solves all the problems. We're trying to solve it. So peace is internal, and yet we're trying to solve it by external discipline.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't do external discipline to fix an internal problem.
All right. I should have asked first. What is peace? Give me your definition of what peace is, because if we don't know what we're looking for, we'll never find it, right?
Yeah, that's a great question. Peace is a lack of stress on the inside, okay? So you can have calm in your environment, but this underlying part of you that's inside, that's just, when you're at peace, you're rock solid. Nothing that comes against you is going to challenge you or push you around. And it's always just calm and peaceful. When your mind is running, you're always irritable. There's always some sort of tension, heaviness that you feel like you're carrying around, darkness.
Yeah.
That's a lack of peace. Is that making sense?
It actually does. No, because people need to identify what that is. That's a beautiful explanation. But in your book, you talk a little bit about the hidden source of internal pressure. Explain that in more detail.
Yeah, so the easiest way to understand this is if you think about our life as a three-legged stool. You have a mental, physical, and spiritual leg. Now, the spiritual is not a religious, it's just neither mental or physical. When all three legs are strong, internally, you're strong. But what happens with peace is when we get our inner self out of alignment. This is that spiritual part. If you think about like your conscience, it lets you know when you do right, lets you know when you do something wrong. When we get out of alignment there and we don't release that, it puts stress on the other two legs and things start to crumple in our life. Right? We start to feel it.
And you are talking about alignment. Let's go in more detail. Explain why alignment is such a key.
Yeah, it's the real key, because alignment is it's when we're holding on to something that we don't need to hold on to. Let me give you a real life example. A couple of months ago, an acquaintance came up to me and we were talking. He was saying, I'm just being eaten up with anxiety. I went to the doctor about 6 or 8 months ago. He said, you're going to have this the rest of your life. Let's put you on meds. And I said, well, anxiety is easy to get rid of. It's not permanent. I said, there's always a source. Usually, like anxiety, has a source of fear that we haven't released. So I was just asking him, so when did it begin? He said, about 1.5 years ago. I said, did anything happen about 1.5 years ago that really terrified you? He said, yeah. My wife had a breast exam. They found lumps. And I became terrified. So I said, well, that's the issue. You're holding on to the fear and you haven't released it. So I simply gave him a simple process to release the fear that he should never have held on to. And by the end of the day, his anxiety was totally gone.
And so with that example there about restoring alignment is basically, it sounds like identifying it, finding out why you're not feeling this, and kind of going back. And do you change anything out of by doing those sort of things?
Yeah, so real simple process. This is what I use, and this is what my book starts to describe. There's a process in how we deal with our inner self. But the simple thing is you name it, locate it, release it. All he did is he named it. I've got anxiety. I helped him locate it. And then once you locate and go, oh, I just need to release it. You release it, and releasing it in very simple terms is just saying, I'm no longer going to hold on to this fear. I'm just going to let it go. Take a deep breath, breathe out.
I like that.
And you release.
I use the same principles for trying to find the perfect fishing hole. Name it, locate it, and then once I get the fish, release them. This is the first time I get to say this, but Beatty, peace. Thanks for joining us. And if you at home want to find out more information, this is great stuff.
Oh, great.
Beatty's book, it's called Outrageous Peace. You can go to outrageouspeace.com for more information. We'll have this on our website as well.
All right, Mitch, thank you. Well, the grandson of the creator of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups is going public with his criticism of the Hershey Company. 70-year-old Brad Reese claims Hershey has swapped out milk chocolate for a cheap compound made from vegetable oils. Oh. He also says Hershey has replaced real peanut butter with peanut butter flavored fillings and creams. The Hershey Company says its original peanut butter cups are still made with real peanut butter and milk chocolate. However, the candy maker admits to making a few recipe adjustments for certain products with new shapes and sizes.
I would imagine he probably lives off some stock. I don't know how many as far as decisions go or anything. I don't think he had anything to do with it. But his claims, I could understand where he would even think so, because it's a lot cheaper to go with the oils and that sort of thing and stay away from the original. And they've said even still, the foods that we ate as a kid are completely different, right? Tasting altogether. And it's not because we've gotten older, obviously, right?
True. But I do think that there is this new focus on ingredients and real ingredients. And I think everybody's kind of like waking up to the fact that we really need to think about what we're eating and how foods are processed. And if candy can go back to using real milk chocolate and real peanut butter, it'd be terrific.
When I go to Italy, I'll bring you back some, all right?
Please
I'm
do.
excited for that.
Yes.
We have more Flash coming up around the corner. Don't go anywhere. We love having you along. Everybody, welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English along with Andrea Jackson. There's a new digital scam out there that's going to have users thinking twice about CAPTCHA or CAPTCHA-like verifications. You know what I'm talking about. It's that stupid quiz you got to take before they let you see it. Next time it pops up on your screen, a Canadian Reddit user posted about a potential hack and shared a picture on her screen when it happened. The sequence asked her to hold the Windows key and the letter R to load a verification key. Then it said to press Control plus V before clicking enter to complete the verification test. Now, this isn't the only cyber scam infecting people's devices. Tech experts are warning users about a new calendar scam where cyber crooks blast iPhones and iPads with bogus scheduling alerts in order to hack into their personal info. I think I got one. But here's the thing. You're trying to schedule something with me. I don't know who you are. I ain't putting that in my calendar.
Yeah.
I do appreciate it. Like whenever we set up a Google Meet, it automatically goes in my phone. But somebody was trying to do something. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. And they are getting smarter and smarter and smarter.
That's true.
If in doubt, don't. If in doubt, like, what is this about? I got an email just the other day from somebody that I don't really talk to, a business person, and I wrote him back and I go, hey, I don't understand what this is. He goes, I've been hacked. Do not open it whatsoever. And he had sent it to Sharon, our boss, as well. And just to let you know, they are still out there. So best thing, if you don't know the person, or if you don't understand it, don't open it up and try to read it to find out what it is, because that might be too late.
So I got an email early this morning, and I was looking at my email, and it said, oh shoot, where did it go? It said something about hunger rush or something. He's like, you cannot ignore my emails. And this came through at like 1:05 in the morning. I'm like, what is this? And, I didn't open it, but I was just like, delete immediately. But then I've also noticed too, like sometimes have you ever got one of those texts that comes out of the blue and it just says, hey, how are you?
Yes.
I'm like, really? That's what you're trying to use now? Hey, how are you?
And just Sam's email, if you text me, I don't know who you are, I'm not texting you
Exactly.
back.
Yeah.
I should also make mention, if you get a phone call from a number you don't know, don't answer it. Because it's a couple of things. They're seeing if that number is active, and now you're going to be on a list. Second thing is, if you're sitting there talking, they could record your voice with AI.
That's what makes me so nervous. And also, like, well, can't they do that anyway if they get your message? You know, if you get their voicemail?
That's why I don't have one. Yeah, that's that's actually a good point. I didn't even think about that. Like, well, I mean,
Thanks for calling.
I call it
I'm
Siri.
sorry, I'm not here right now.
I don't do that.
You don't do that.
They'll go, you called,
Yeah.
or leave your message right after I don't know what it says. I never call myself.
I know. I haven't called myself in years.
So,
couldn't tell you what it says, but I know I had at one point I had a message on there.
if we haven't talked before and you send me a text,
Yeah.
I'm not writing you back. And if you call me and I don't answer, if it's that important, you'll text me, and then I won't answer that anyway because I don't know who you are.
And do you use the block and the spam function on your text and your phone calls?
I try to, but it doesn't seem like that. I feel like it's just it's supposed to be there to make me feel better, like to put somebody. Same goes with the email.
Yeah.
It's not going to stop it.
Right.
Yeah. It's very frustrating altogether, and it's dangerous now that we hear stuff like
Yeah,
this.
for sure. Well, outrage is brewing across Los Angeles as residents are told it will take 270 days, 270, for a street light, for one single street light to be repaired. LA is currently buried under a mountain of 33,000 pending repairs. This is Los Angeles.
You pay a lot of taxes in California, so they'll get to it.
It's crazy. The scale, yeah, right. The scale of the crisis was highlighted by a local reporter on X who shared an automated response from the city's 311 system. Some neighborhoods have been left in total darkness for nearly a year. The post on X has gone viral. City officials say theft and vandalism are driving a massive repair backlog. The theft epidemic is so severe that copper wire theft now accounts for nearly 40% of all outages. Thieves are stripping miles of cable faster than crews can replace it. The 311 message, we've got it. Let's see if we can pop it up on the screen. Thank you for reaching out. We see the case you submitted on 117. Due to an increase in wire theft and vandalism of the street lighting network, there is currently a backlog of repair tickets. The current response time for street light repair is up to 270 days.
I want to back up. All right, and correct this.
Yeah.
So in California, you go on X to talk to the
No,
Los Angeles?
The reporter posted the screenshot of the
now.
response he got when he submitted the request to fix a street light in his neighborhood and was told it could take up to a year.
I say that because airlines do that. Airlines are wanting you to go on Twitter. It's like they'll say, if our lines are busy, it might be faster to send us a message on Twitter. Oh. Because and if you think about it, I'm like, I'm leaving a message on Twitter if this flight's canceled and you left me in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, exactly. You better believe it.
I'm hashtagging you, and I am direct messaging you as well. Here's the. It's always going to be that way, and we learned last week. If you have to call them up, that's why you need a bilingual friend. Press 2 for Spanish. You'll probably get there faster.
That is so true.
Than pressing 1.
But this is embarrassing
That's
for
very
Los
embarrassing.
Angeles. And the taxes the people pay there, outrageous.
You can see why people are moving in droves.
Yeah.
Stick around. We have more coming up.
This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Yeah, you're right. Hi, everybody. I'm Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash. Today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Before we do anything, let's check in with James Alexander.
Yes, your social media guru is here. I'll just make sure you get on our social media channels by going to our website, dailyflashshow.com. There's 219 stations across the country that you love watching us on, and the American Forces Network, which is, you can watch us across the globe. Now, locally, when you click on where to watch at our website, you'll find yourself possibly in Saginaw, Michigan, a.k.a. Sag Nasty.
And
And
you can say that because you're from Michigan.
We call it Sag Nasty. Sag Nasty is a beautiful place. All right. Now, Sag Nasty, I found some things. There's one thing I did not know about Sag Nasty was just it's a birthplace of the Pittsburgh Plates, a semi-pro football team.
Plates?
Yes, Plates that played in the early 20th century that helped pave the way for what we call like AFL, modern minor league football, right? I did not know Serena is a Michigander. Serena Williams, the tennis legend, was born in Sagnasty.
Okay.
Yep, in 1981.
Do they like being called?
I don't know.
That's a nickname on the show. It's like G-Rap and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Flint
O-Town.
Saginaw is part of Michigan's Tri-Cities, along with Bay City and Midland, which I've been to several times. Shout out to Mount Pleasant, Michigan, Central Michigan University.
Okay, very good.
Yep.
Love that. You don't want to get Sagnasty with Ella Love at all. We were, there's jobs for everybody out there, Jackson. You were telling us about this professional cuddler,
yes. So this woman in New York, she was a teacher for a number of years, got tired of the class size, was looking for something different to do. She decided to become a professional cuddler. The woman's making like $100,000 a year. She charges about $150 an hour. She says it's non-sexual. All her clients are men. They really just come for, an opportunity to be cuddled and to be vulnerable, I would say, and to share, secrets and talk, and that's it. It's non-sexual, but she says it's one of those things where it's just this kind of a job that found her.
Yeah.
And so my question, and we talked about this, is that Mitch had mentioned different love languages.
Love language, obviously, I think they need to be teaching this at a much younger age because it gives you an understanding of what, I was at a point where it's like, I'm saying, why am I doing something for the other person? Am I doing it so I can get something back, or I'm doing it because I really want to help that other person?
Yes.
So once I kind of understood that, I kind of understood love language better, is that, mine is physical touch by all means, whereas my mate, Liza, she likes service, me doing things, and that's how it shows you that I'm giving that love language, and then she's supposed to reciprocate that by hugging me. And some, especially in New York, where you have a lot of professionals that want to be known as the provider and want to be strong and stoic and that sort of thing. I can see how they would want to go to her because of the fact that they're getting that because that's their love language and they're not feeling it at home. Nothing against the spouse, but there's some kind of communication problem, right?
But is it a problem, or is it that the man in the relationship with his wife does not want to become vulnerable or show vulnerability to her in the same way he can show to this professional cuddler? That's my big question. If as a wife or a girlfriend, how can I provide that for him, or is it something that he has to go because he doesn't want to show weakness in front of me?
And that's the thing, that vulnerability is not. You're not able to have that a lot of times in marriage because some women, not all, they like bringing up things that you've told them in confidence and use it against you. And I think a lot of guys are doing this. I mean, although they're doing it with the cuddler, but they've also, there have been known cases where even with sex workers, guys are not, performing acts with them. They're just sitting there and having them listen to their problems because they have somebody who is non-biased. I mean, it goes back to what you were talking about. It's that emotional intelligence. Yes. Both people need in a relationship in order to make it work, right? So, and you look at this situation, I'm not surprised it's the way it is, but it is what it is. Look, I love hugs. I've been hugged at least 3 times. I have.
James, you're good. James will hug you if you come up on the show. Your thoughts on this or anything else, we love hearing from you. Flash at dailyflashshow.com. We got more of today's Talk Tomorrow's Trends.
You're watching Daily Flash. Time now for The Scene with Doreen.
With over 450 screen performances to her credit, multi-talented actress Adrienne Barbeau is living proof that age does not diminish a career. Whether it be as the original Rizzo in the Broadway production of Grease, to starring in the John Carpenter classic Escape from New York, Adrienne is full of surprises, and I can't wait to see what she has in store for us next. Check it out. A lot of people know your body of work in film and television, but you made your household name as the original Rizzo in the Broadway production of Grease. What's it like to originate a role, especially a role that has become so iconic in pop culture?
When Grease opened, we got bad reviews. We did not get good reviews. We didn't know if we were going to be on the boards for another week, Wow. So no one at that time, in those days, had any thought that this was going to be, for so many of us, a life-changing show, and it certainly was for me.
He is not 70 years old. Mother, you can age a man faster than any woman I know.
I'll drink to that.
And you land Maude, a huge show that really it was groundbreaking. And you have said that you really didn't know it was at the time because you didn't watch a lot of TV going into it.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I had been doing theater since I was 15, so I had friends from Fiddler. We all had dinner together one night. This was after an interview had been set up for me with Norman Lear, who were telling me about this new show called All in the Family that was Norman Lear, and how, you know, groundbreaking it was, and how great it was. And but I didn't know anything.
B. Arthur, I heard that you maintained a very good relationship with her all the way through to her passing.
Oh, yes, I loved her dearly. I loved her dearly. Well, the entire cast was very, very close. It was like getting up in the morning and leaving one family to go to another family and spend the whole day.
Are you the booby lady on the calendars?
AJ, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, that's me.
I read in your autobiography that you actually had 2 other co-stars. People were busy watching your co-stars as you would walk down the stairs.
I can't remember who finally said it to me, but I must have said something about, well, how was the performance? Well, who cares? Nobody was watching a performance. They were watching you walk down the stairs.
Maggie. He's dead.
The John Carpenter classic Escape from New York turns 45 years old this year. The concept of a female action hero, it was really relatively quite new. Maggie was years ahead of her time, I think.
I love Maggie. I love Maggie. I love her morality. When Brain is killed and she turns to Snake and puts her hand out, indicating that she wants him to throw her the gun, and she's going to take care of this now. She's going to avenge Brain's death. That's all of it for me. I'm sure it's nothing.
And you're still making awesome movies. The new one, Oddities, comes out this year.
It's sort of a Thelma and Louise meets The Quiet Place. It's more of an exorcism kind of horror as opposed to a slasher horror, anything like that. I'm really looking forward to that.
Visit abarbeau.com, check out her upcoming live appearances, see the new movie Oddities, and just stay connected to everything that is the very talented Adrienne Barbeau. And if you want to hear more of our wonderful conversation, visit here. I'm Doreen Taylor with the Scene with Doreen here at the Daily Flash each week. See you next time.
For almost 90 years, Child Fund International has been helping children grow up healthy, educated, and above all, safe. Their new PSA invites viewers to see firsthand how Child Fund changes lives. Check this out.
It all connects. The girl who walks for hours to bring home the family's water, the school she can't attend most days, the breakfast she didn't have, the rain that hasn't fallen in months, the danger around the next bend, her little brother's belly laugh, her mother's hug, her dreams of being a teacher, an engineer, the mayor. All the reasons life is both so hard and so beautiful. It all connects, but so do we. For children's sakes, we connect through action, through everything we do, together, so every child can grow up healthy, educated, and safe. And we won't stop.
And now, important information that can save your life. Here's more.
For the first time, doctors have a clinical guide to help patients with CKM syndrome, an interconnected set of conditions that significantly increase the risk of heart attack, stroke, and heart failure.
This guideline allows us to treat these conditions as a single, whole-person health issue. It calls for earlier care, regular screening, And it includes guidance on using GLP-1 therapies for preventing heart disease.
Learn more at heart.org.
The year marks the 34th anniversary of the world's largest K-12 student science competition. Joining us from the National Press Club is Justin, Mr. Fascinate Schaefer, famously known for promoting science education as the producer of the hit podcast Curiosity Theory. Here's more.
The Toshiba NSTA Explore Vision Challenge is the world's largest K-12 science competition, and it is truly unlike any other. It helps young students expand their imaginations while exploring their interests in science, technology, engineering, and math. Students like these come together in groups to think about what challenges might exist 10 or more years into the future and work together to build technology solutions that will solve them. They get to learn about STEM and have a ton of fun doing it.
Approximately 800,000 people in the United States suffer from a heart attack each year, and it's one of the leading causes of death in the United States. What's even more surprising is that 30% of these are actually second occurrence heart attacks. After a heart attack, your heart cells get converted into scar tissue, which is much stiffer, and it can actually lead to irregular heartbeats and sometimes even heart failure. Our project, Syncardia, aims to solve this issue. Syncardia is a lipid nanoparticle-based system which actually converts the scar tissue back into the healthy heart cells.
Heart attacks are super common, and each one of us have actually had experiences where someone close to us or a family member had to suffer from a heart attack. And even when people survive after a heart attack, they still have to live with the long-term complications for the rest of their life. And so we wanted to help better their quality of life, and so that's why we created Syncardia.
It's so important for young students like these to feel empowered in participating and building the future. I'm a huge advocate for STEM, and seeing students like these start off at such a young age building incredibly thorough and rigorous research projects has them feeling confident to go forth into careers as researchers, innovators, pioneers, and folks that will shape the future. And that's what we all need. For more information about the winning student projects or to sign up for Explore Vision, you can check out explorevision.org or follow Toshiba Explore Vision America on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Summer is here, and from travel tips to easy entertaining ideas and seasonal style finds, we've got you covered. Joining us now with some of her favorite summer essentials is trends analyst Megan B. Murphy.
Summer is all about making memories, whether you're hosting friends at home, refreshing your wardrobe, or planning the perfect getaway. For effortless summer style, Old Navy's latest dress collection is a standout this season. Their dresses are lightweight, breathable, and easy to wear, making them perfect for everything from beach days and family gatherings to backyard barbecues and vacation dinners. I especially love the trend-forward details. When it comes to entertaining, nothing says summer quite like a cold glass of iced tea. That's why I love Red Diamond Iced Tea. It's fresh brewed with just a few simple ingredients, whether you prefer sweet, unsweet, or extra sweet tea. It's an easy crowd pleaser and the perfect sip for summer. And if summer plans include travel, Wyndham Hotels and Resorts offers accommodations for every type of trip, from affordable road trip favorites like La Quinta, Days Inn, and Super 8 to elevated resort experiences through Wyndham Grand. Plus, Wyndham Rewards members can currently earn up to 2 free nights, helping stretch those vacation dollars even further. For more, go to meganbmurphy.com.
New global data reveals a hidden gap in depression care, and mental health experts encourage a mid-year check-in. Joining us with more is licensed psychologist and Vice President of Alliance Development, Mental Health America, Jessica Jackson, and licensed therapist, Katie Morton. Dr. Jackson, when someone with depression says they're fine, what does that usually mean day to day?
It usually means that they're just getting through their day. They're functioning, but maybe not functioning well or functioning at their best level. They're kind of, a phrase I heard earlier is they're white knuckling it, right? And they're like, I'm getting things done, but I don't feel good. And so that's often how many of us feel, right? It's the reason when someone says, how are you doing? And we just say, fine. We don't go into the details.
What's one small step they can take if they feel just okay, but not truly well?
A small step is that they can ask their provider to have a conversation. So share with their provider how they're feeling and how they would like to feel. That's really important. So the provider can see the disconnect and say, you know what, I'd like to help you to have less days of feeling sad or less days of feeling tired.
Katie, what is Generation Fine and why does its message resonate with so many people?
Generation Fine is a global campaign that we've partnered with Johnston & Johnston to really shed light on the fact that a lot of people are just barely getting by, kind of to what Dr. Jackson was saying, they're white knuckling their way through life. And for a lot of people with depression symptoms, they don't realize that they can actually get full resolution. And we want people to feel better than just fine. I mean, how many of us have been asked, how are you doing? And we just say, fine, when we're really not doing well at all. And we want people to have real conversations and know that they can feel better than fine.
Why do people struggle to bring up what isn't working in treatment?
I think for a lot of people, they worry that once they've reached out for care or for help, that they should just feel better, that all the symptoms should go away. And there can be these assumptions about, especially mental health treatment as a whole, that once we get help, we're better, we're quote unquote fixed. And so people can feel guilty, or we can feel like I should be better by now. And so we'll be reluctant to speak up and to actually share what's going on for fear of maybe stigma, judgment, or that maybe we're just not trying hard enough.
Where should the audience go for more information?
People can go to generation-fine.com to find more resources and to also get more information about the campaign as a whole.
Thank you both for joining us. And we'll be sure to also post this information on our website at dailyflashshow.com/FMI.
From the biggest pop culture moments to the stories you'll be sending to the group chat, El Flash Latino brings the energy, the attitude, and the saber every single time.
Saludos a todos, yo soy Gisela Bouvier.
Y yo soy Fabián Marcano y le damos la bienvenida a El Flash Latino.
With Fabian and Gisela serving up laughs, hot takes, and pure personality, you never know what they'll say next in whichever language comes out first.
Pero we're in Spanish. Yo soy Isis. There, problem.
Jump into the show that celebrates culture, comedy, and all things Spanglish. El Flash Latino.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. We always want to leave you on a high note, so that's why we want to tell you something good.
In a world where we hear a lot about what's going wrong, we got a story here about a man who just simply showed up and he sang. Check this out.
Through this journey of discovery, finding you and finding me. This for you, Grandma. Traded in the lazy days I used to lay down by the river.
This Levante Harvey is a mail carrier in Austin, in an Austin neighborhood, and he went viral after a doorbell camera caught him singing while dropping off a package. But here's the part that makes this so special. He wasn't performing for the camera. He was trying to lift the spirits of a grandmother on his route who had just lost her husband.
Now, he said he often sings to people all along his route, but just to bring a little light into their day, make things better. And that day, a family member posted the video online, and just like that, the internet did what it could do, and it did its best. The video blew up, people were moved, and actually, supporters started a GoFundMe account.
You see, Levante was driving more than 2 hours each way to work every day. That's 4 hours on the road just to deliver mail. And Smiles, a goal of $10,000 to help Levante was set up, and so far, nearly $13,000 has been raised, and that is something good. And it looks like he got a new car, because there was a picture of that with a BMW and a yellow bow on it.
So yeah, he got the car because $13,000 was raised as well. And I would hope, because he sings really well.
Fantastic.
I would hope that somebody reached out and said, look, how would you like to make even more money than that, And obviously, when I see that, it's like, it makes me feel like, there are people that love their job. I love my job. I hope that you love your job. He loves his job so much that he could say, look, I'm walking all day. Why not make it a little bit better?
Yeah,
So
and
good
I'm
for him.
sharing in my success, and I don't, and this is what makes things in life happy for me and makes the world go round.
We love it.
Yes.
That does it for our show. Thank you for spending time with us.
Be good. For more information, head to our website, dailyflashshow.com.